was swallowed by the light of dawn. I was swallowed by the light of dawn. Lost track of the day that carries on. I follow the rising sun, and the sun had got loose of my wily news, and the day just stole away. I tried to hold on to things that are not meant to stay.
Hi folks, I'm Matt Selic with the 100 Mile Arts Network. Welcome back to Art to Heart, the video podcast series where I interview artists and artisans from across the Outaouais region. In today's video, we meet with folk musician and singer-songwriter Chloe Laberge. She's been writing, recording, and performing her own music for many years. Recently settled in Lac de Loup on an old turn-of-the-century farmstead, she's been busy gardening, seed saving, and of course, honing her craft as a musician. Let's meet Chloe. Hey, Chloe.
Hey, Matt.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me here in your beautiful home in Lac de Loup.
I'm happy you're here.
Yes. Why don't you start? Tell me about how did you find yourself here in the Gatineau Hills, in the Outaouais area, of all places on earth? How did you end up here?
Of all places. Well, I was traveling through space and I landed here. Yeah.
I like that.
No, I started, I guess it was farming that brought me in the Outaouais area.
Okay.
I'm from the other side of the river originally, in the Outaouais area. I won't
Me too.
I won't specify where, but in that area. And I started farming, I guess when I was near the Perth. Yeah, around Ottawa and Perth and in Kingston, and then I decided to come back here and organic. I was a farmhand at one of the many organic farms in the Wakefield area, and yeah, I just kind of fell in love with the hills. I guess it's hard to go back to anywhere else when you have so many lakes and like so many hilly forests around and.
Yeah, there's something about this area. It just draws people here, like a magnet.
Yeah.
And the artistic types, right? Musicians, a lot of musicians here. So you yourself are a musician.
Yes.
What was your introduction to music?
It was when I was really young. I went to see my brother, who was young too, play in a choir. And they had a big school choir, and they were singing California Dreamin'. From the Mamas and the Papas, and I just remember loving that song so much. I feel like that's my first memory, but yeah, from then on I played piano. I was forced to play piano.
Like so many of us.
Yeah, I mean, when I think back on it, it was like something I had to do. I was forced to do, and I didn't really enjoy it. But I think it's the best thing that ever happened to me, because I find it. You learn to work with the two sides of your brain at the same time, learning to do two melodies at once with your left hand and your right hand at a young age. I feel like that opens up so many possibilities for later in life. And then I went to a music school for high school in the Ottawa area for singing and transverse flute.
How did you go from playing music, playing piano as a kid and flute and sort of an orchestral sort of scenario, to playing more folk music, playing the guitar, playing the banjo? What was that transition like?
That's a lot of exploration, musical exploration. I still play a lot of different styles of music, and so they're still part of my everyday. Folk and traditional are also more part of my life now, and it was kind of the scenes I was in. I would go to the Laugh and a lot downtown, Irene's. I would go to Rasputin's open mic, when I was much younger, when it was on Elgin at the Elmdale. back in the day, the silent open mics. You know, you couldn't speak and you just had to listen. It was just all very touching and influencing. And yeah, I met a lot of people playing folk music, and I think it was the lyricism of traditional folk, and then the melodies as well. Because like I also grew up with that as a child. My family is all from Quebec, and we would have family gatherings around the campfire and sing French songs without any instrumentation. I grew up singing old traditional French songs that are also sung in southern, you know, in southern Louisiana and in New Orleans, and so they like that make the basis of like a lot of Cajun music and Acadian music, you know. So like it all kind of the nostalgia of me growing up with that, but in a different style now that I love playing it like Cajun styles too, you know, and so it's all kind of connected, you know, with my French heritage and then like the folk renaissance that happened in my life, I guess. So.
Right on. Well, you mentioned the Cajun music. You also, I mean, you know, you play the banjo, you play the guitar, you sing, but I've seen you obviously with an accordion, a Cajun accordion too. So how did that sort of come into your life?
I was on a whim. I get like these desires, musical desires, and one winter, because I find I really I'm drawn to the Cajun accordion when it gets cold out. Like I really like it's. I think the kitchen parties of winter kitchen parties that like have a big appeal to me, and
warms the heart, warms the soul.
You know, and I just always, for me, like the superstars were always the musicians that you know, you're just like, I want to be that thing, you know.
I love it.
Yeah. So and yeah, I just got it. I wanted an accordion. I went on Kijiji, got an accordion like the next day. You know, like when I want it, I like when it's musical, I need to go get it. And then yeah, it was very. It was guttural. It was like instantaneous. Playing the Cajun accordion. It's so physical. Playing it, and you just kind of get into a trance. Yeah, and it's so loud. It's like vibrating, you know. So yeah, it's.
So, but you've released several albums. You've recorded several albums, and you know, played music around town as a singer-songwriter. So you write your own material. Can you just tell me a little bit about what kind of music you write, or what inspires you to write? What if you're trying to tell a story? All of the above, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it depends the style of music as well. But I'm very inspired by the typical stuff like love and heartache, of course. I'm also always kind of in existential despair, and so that's a huge inspiration for me, you know, loneliness and existential ponderings, you know, like why are we here and all that stuff. That and I guess that is related to nature. Like I moved out here because I just like being around the forest and the quiet of or the non-silence of nature, you know, just the sounds of birds and winds and stuff. And that's what I'm often inspired by. Like I don't mean to do it, but I try to recreate feelings that I experience when I'm in a field, or you know, so those are my inspirations. And lately I've been playing more melodic songs, so without the lyrics, because I feel like it. I guess it's a lot of these moments are ineffable, so it's a way to capture something and not like screw it up with words. I don't know.
That makes sense. I get that.
Yeah, but words can be very powerful and wonderful and poignant, used well as well. So I love lyrics, and that's what appeals me to, draws me to music. I love good lyrics.
So the last year and a half obviously has been pretty hard, just in the arts in general, but certainly for musicians. How has that affected you? Like, how are you, coping with all of that?
Musically?
Yeah.
It's actually been great. It's I guess musically it's been great because it's given me a lot of time to just play without any kind of demands or reasons to performance or anything like that, and just dive into playing for the sake of playing and nothing else, and practicing skill in instruments. And also I started recording an album during the pandemic. I don't think I might have not have done it had it not been pandemic times. It was just I've taken the time to do it well and take time doing it. So it's been fine. I have other jobs, and music for me has been for a long time a pleasure, a passion, and not something that I strive to make money from, because I don't like mixing them together. It doesn't go out with me, I get stressed and anxious, and then just so I'm not like other musicians who rely on playing live and are affected negatively by the lack of spaces.
But hopefully you'll get a chance to play live again soon,
Yeah.
so we can hear your music. Is there anything you can tell me about your upcoming album?
It's the first album that I'm making with arrangements, with a lot of instrumentation. All my other albums have been live on the floor, and oftentimes arranged with the musicians at hand, and so this one's gonna be just more a bigger production, and I'm really looking forward to it, because I oftentimes when I play my songs I hear the whole orchestration, and I've never actually been able to get it, so I'm really nerding out, and it's gonna be, there's a lot of styles in the album, it's not like a typical album where all the songs kind of are within the same genre. There's droning fiddles in one of them, and then there's a harmonium, and a lot of different instruments too. A lot of friends playing on it. And,
Exciting! Right on. Well, thank you so much for having me here today and
it's a
chatting with me.
pleasure.
It's beautiful. I could be here all day. Yeah. All right.
I was down in the dumps sometimes late last year, when George called me up and I was pouring out tears. He said, "You've been a bad friend," and I knew he was right. But in that moment then, I still put up a fight. Bitter medicine is the best there is. Tough love for thick skin and a real goddamn friend who will know when to laugh and give you time to think, who will do something about it when you're back on the drain. And if I told you that I am doing fine, would you think twice and wonder if I'm lying? Truth is that I worry all of the time, all of the time. Well, the stars